This is the plaintiff, Dorothy DeMatteis. She says she's a professional artist who left her paintings at the defendant's shop on consignment. One day, she drove by the shop and noticed everything was gone. The defendant up and moved her business to another town, took all her artwork and never told her. Now the woman's claiming she gave the stuff away for free. For free? Not here, not now. She's suing for $481.60, the value of her missing stuff. This is the defendant, Maria Comp. She says she called the plaintiff and left a message telling her she had 30 days to pick up her stuff because they were moving into a smaller space. She never heard a thing from the woman for 2 years. Bottom line, she left the woman messages, never heard back, and certainly doesn't owe her anything. She's accused of an art heist.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Dorothy DeMatteis.
That's correct.
You are suing Maria Comp and Posh Pets. That's your business? You're the owner? All right. For $481.60 in merchandise that you say she has not returned to you and not paid you for. Tell me what's going on.
Well, I'm a serious artist. That's my business. I do a lot of work in art shows. I travel around the country, and I do a lot of cat paintings. Since I do cat paintings, I thought, well, it might be a good idea to try out putting some in a shop that does business with cats and dogs. So I went into the Posh Pet store and talked with Marie and asked if she would be interested in putting some of my work in her shop on consignment. She said yes, and she looked over what I had and picked out what she thought might sell well. And we discussed what kind of percentage we would each get, and we agreed on it. And she drew up the contract.
Do you have that with you?
Yes, I think you have a copy.
Yeah, I'd like to see the original. Do you have the original?
Yes.
Oh, let me see your...
Okay, you pull things in and out.
That's all right. I think we got it.
Things get lost.
We're fine. Don't worry about it.
We're good.
Okay. This agreement is between Posh Pets and Dorothy DeMatteis. Posh Pets agrees to display the artwork and clothing Mrs. DeMatteis designed on a consignment basis. Posh Pets will take 20% of the profits for any item sold, and the remaining 80% goes to Mrs. DeMatteis. We currently have the following items: 17 small, medium, large, and extra large sweatshirts at $20 a piece. One XXL sweatshirt at $22. 4 framed prints at $60 a piece. And there were some original paintings, but those were returned. Okay, and then that appears to be signed by both of you with this, and this is December 10th of 2010. And then can you show that to them and tell me, does that look like the agreement?
We found the agreement, Your Honor.
Oh, great. Is that it?
We found her copy, okay?
Yes, that's a copy of it, and I have the original.
Okay, can I see it? Yep. What's the note on the bottom, 146 something?
After they had moved, my husband had called the number on the card to see if he could get a hold of them. And he found out from someone who answered the phone there where they were, and that was the new address.
Yeah, but the weird part, it's on her copy.
Yes, because that's a copy that I made for her in last December, way after that is not an original. So, because that's the new address, that's what he wrote on when he was getting.
See, these are the reasons
telephone.
why I like seeing originals, because
Yeah.
what that tells me is that you needed her to send you a copy of the consignment contract in December. This last December, is that correct?
No, I did have it. I just misplaced it.
But you told
through
her
the
you
old
didn't
move.
have it, right?
That I didn't have the contract?
I'm asking you, why did you have to ask her for a copy of the contract?
I didn't ask her for a copy.
Did she send you a copy of the contract?
She sent it to me, yes. But I didn't ask her
No, I
for
was
one.
right there in the shop. The copies,
So, but what
and I gave
happened? You
her
left
one.
December of 2010. You left several items there that are on that list, and then what?
I'm not a pushy person, so I didn't go back right away. Other people that I deal with, I wait, and when they sell something, they call me. And it wasn't until early October, I think, of 2012.
2 years later?
Well, it's less than 2 years. It's a year and 8 or 9 months.
Okay, that's not refraining from being pushy. That almost sounds like you forgot.
No, I'm just laid back.
So what happened?
So-
One fine day, almost 2 years later, you
well,
go to
almost.
the little shopping center and she's
October,
gone.
Yeah, the shop was empty. So what happened? So we called up the number that was on the card and we asked, what about my work? Where is it? And she said, it's gone. She says, oh, people came in and took it. And I don't understand what people. So she said she talked to her partner about it. So I waited, nothing happened. Another week or two later, I called again. This went on for a long time. I kept calling. And this is an artistic thing. It took a lot of time and effort. And what I have here is made from my original paintings. I do a painting first on acrylic on canvas. So it's a long, involved process. And I don't feel that I should give it away for just the materials that it cost me.
These
So-
are prints that she made in art shows. She made big paintings and then she made prints from it.
You're
And they
very
won-
talented.
And they won a lot of awards. And there's one thing you failed to mention, that she said that she called us and we never received a
Yeah,
telephone
we
call
never-
at all. And that was the most important thing of all.
She said,
Not any telephone call.
she said she had called. I went back over my phone messages. There was nothing. And we're there all the time. And I have a good system, Comcast.
This is
that goes to the
just
voicemail.
petting, and the cat's got its paws inside of the.
Yeah. So,
So what happened?
I put the things in my store on display. I did not hear from her for close to 2 years. She never called. She never came in to see if anything was sold or to see if anything was moved or she needed to bring in anything different. I didn't hear from her.
Right now, is this the first time you did a consignment?
Yes, she was the first.
Yeah, I can
so-
tell. You know why? Because consignment contracts, you are not my first consignment contract. And, now in the day of internet, you could find the right consignment contract online. One of the most important things in a consignment contract is missing here, which is what happens if this situation arises. Most consignment contracts, I don't know if you've educated yourself since then, will have a clause that says that after 30 days or after 90 days, whatever it may be, you must pick up your merchandise. Failure to pick up your merchandise will result in it being abandoned. Or we will, after 90 days, we will send you a certified letter. 2 weeks after that certified letter, and then you have to keep a copy of the certified letter. They say you never called them. If you called them, why would it be gone? If you called them before you brought the shop down to say, hey, come pick up your stuff, why would the stuff be gone? What would you throw that stuff away? Somebody would have it. Where is it?
We had to dispose of it.
Why would you have to dispose of it? Why don't you just set it up in the next store?
We went from a 2,000 square foot store to an 850 square foot
Can you prove
store.
that you called them?
We did go, actually, T, my receptionist called.
Come on up. Do you have a specific recollection of specifically calling this lady?
Yes.
I want to see some evidence that you back then
My
called.
checklist?
Anything.
I can't find
Anything.
my checklist.
Phone records are obviously what I want to see.
I did request phone records from Comcast, and they did deny it because we moved, and we were a new customer at that point when we moved.
So tell me about what happened when you called.
Maria gave me a list of things I had to do. I had to pack up files that we needed that were immediate. I was packing them, putting them one place. Files we didn't need, they were somewhere else. Packing up inventory, doing this, call this person, call. Every time she said something to me, I wrote it down, and it was a checklist. As I accomplished my tasks, I did the checklist.
Let me
and
see that.
And I ripped our store apart.
I believe you.
And
I believe you that you ripped your
can't,
store apart. I can tell by
because
that.
she kept putting stuff on the list. It was like a never-ending list, and I would check it off.
I know she's
and
standing next to you, right?
She was like constantly like, do this, do that, do this, and I'd check my thing, and I'd get all happy that I'm checking something off. She's got 6 more things.
Look, it's very simple. The question is, did you legally do? Well, the question's simple. The answer may not be simple. The question here is, you wait 2 years. You do nothing. Did you abandon it by waiting almost 2 full years before you surface? The question is, you claim you called her. You have no way to prove that. They deny you called her. did you take the necessary steps before disposing of it? It's such an odd thing to dispose of because they're really nice. And to just put it in a garbage can because I don't have space, they don't take up that much room.
Well, we really felt by the phone call that we tried
Really,
to give her
it's not
notice.
that you guys are, downsizing. It's incredibly hectic. There's a million things going on. Every time you check one off, 6 more things are happening. It's like a lot to take in. And then you get to the new place and then you think you might be able to find it. And then all of a sudden you're in the new place and you can't find it and you really don't know what you did with it. It's not that?
No, that's not.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I would think that she sent out notices of her move to all her customers. She could have sent me a notice that she was moving. I got no notice, nothing in the mail.
How long did you think this consignment contract was for? Since your contract doesn't say.
Has no time limit on it.
How long did you think? How long did you think it was for? What if you came back 10 years later?
Oh no, I wouldn't wait that long.
Oh, you wouldn't wait that long. I'm a very impatient woman. How long did you think your
didn't have
consignment
any
contract
time
was for?
frame on
Since
it.
your contract that you drafted doesn't say a term.
We didn't have, we weren't really thinking. We weren't
Court's in
planning on
recess.
moving
Thank
either.
you, folks.
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, after 2 years, no phone calls, nothing. Are these paintings abandoned?
Absolutely.
Why do you say?
After 2 years, I mean, it's obvious that the person didn't want the paintings.
So, how long after the person leaves the paintings does it become abandoned? He says 2 years is way long.
Well, is there a contract?
There's no contract. It doesn't say anything. So, how long?
I would say a reasonable amount of time.
Which is what?
6 months to a year.
6 months to a year?
Well, I think it's hers forever because it's her art.
So it's never abandoned.
Yeah, it's never abandoned.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
It's a close one because of all the time that you waited. But each of these cases I have to rule on based on the facts that are in front of me and the unique situation that's in front of me. If you have an open-ended contract, then you still had a contract 2 years later if you still had the stuff. And there's an easy way to end it. And the way you end it is you call her and you write her and you send her a notice. And if she's not picking it up, maybe you call her again. But you're certainly going to have to prove to me that those efforts were made. And I know how chaotic it is to move a business from one place to another with 1,000 different things coming up. I'm having a difficult time with the fact that you can't even prove you had her number beforehand because you can't even provide me with the original contract. Because even if I believed that she made that phone call, and I'm not sure that I do, okay? But even if I believed it, and I'm not sure that I do, because you can't pony up a record of anything that shows it nowhere, not her notes, not a phone log, and not a contract that you possess beforehand. That's why I always ask for the original. A contract that you possess beforehand that would actually show her number. It starts to look like maybe there's just a lot of chaos and that you were, but let's assume that I believe that there was that one phone call. I'm not even sure I think that's sufficient. Not sending her a written notice, not trying again. You know how when you want to get somebody, you can? You just call them a few times, do you get them? Yeah, that's probably what should have happened here. All right, I rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $481.60. That's my judgment.
The plaintiff has won this decision here from Judge Millian, the defendant, to tell us what you think of this.
I am happy with the verdict.
How can you be happy? You just fought against it and lost.
She did what the judge knows what's the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, why were you so disorganized?
We tried very hard. We really felt we did the right thing.
One phone call even, maybe? Even if that?
We actually thought it was sufficient. We tried.
One phone call? Well, the judge said otherwise.
Yes. Well, we learned.
You realize now?
We learned.
What
Yes,
have
we
you learned from
absolutely
the whole
did.
thing?
We learned we have to follow through. Paperwork.
And I will definitely secure every note I have.
Okay.
It will always be there.
All right, head right around the corner there and sign on your way out. Okay, step on out here. So, all right, come on in here. You're the artist. Step in next to me here, please. Over here, please, and tell me what's. You just sold your paintings.
Well,
I
could have sold them if I got them back, but
Well, they just did sell.
yeah.
You know,
okay,
you got paid
yeah,
for
that
your
was
work.
Good.
You feel like
I'm pleased.
Do you sell a lot of art?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I
This
have.
is one that won prizes.
This one won prizes. Okay,
Atlantic City,
all right,
first prizes. It was a
Correct.
giant painting. It's a print from a giant painting.
Right. Okay. Good. Are you going to do consignment anymore?
Not unless I study this.
All right. Okay, that's great. Show me after we throw it to Harvey.
Okay, so here's the moral to the story. If you have somebody's property, you have a duty to try and get in touch with them before doing anything with the property, or else you're on the hook. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.